Honestly, as a parent, why we want our kids to be so good academically? To me, I thought that I always think about the reason behind when we do something. Definitely, that's the reason. Like for example, when we eat, why we are eating? Because we're hungry or because we have craving. We love that food. That is a reason, right? We won't do anything without a reason. So, what's the reason? To me, is we hope that they can find a better job. They can be independent. They can stand on their own feet when they go older. When they got, when they go out and work. But
So true.
but don't you think surviving skill is more important?
Welcome to episode number 25 of the 100 Successful Women, a Conversation to Inspire series. Episode 25. It's also marking milestone number 5 of this challenge of mine. This also means that I have completed quarter of this 100 series. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who have involved in making this happen, especially to all these beautiful women who have unselfishly contributed their time and wisdom for all this episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have so much fun doing this, learning from these ladies. If you know anyone who can contribute their stories and have something to share to inspire others out there, do not hesitate to contact me and let me know. So in today's episode, I have Angerine Leong, who is a fellow Malaysian joining us in our conversation. Angerine is the first Malaysian in my series, and I'm so excited to have her on the call with me. Angerine's stories is going to resonate with a lot of my Asian moms out there, I think. She was changing from a full-time mom to a super entrepreneur mom running a few businesses. I was amazed with her passion and her creativity in different areas of her life. So without further ado, let's all jump in to listen to what Angerine is sharing in the videos coming up next.
How are you, Angerine?
Hi, I'm pretty casual today. Hopefully, it's fine.
That's good. Of course, just this is, even though it's so-called interview, it's more like a casual one as always. We just have a conversation. And did I get your name right, Angerine?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Because it's not very normal, right? Normally it's Angeline or something like that.
Yes. I used to have Angeline when I was in Malaysia, but before, when I was in high school, I've got Angeline. And then when I went to KL to study, somehow my name was pronounced a little bit different from some of my friends pronounce it a bit different. So I changed it to R.
Ah, I see. So that's kind of the special name for you then.
And I like it. Actually, I prefer R than L. I want something different.
Yeah, it's good to be like something different from others, right? So for those of you out there who are listening in, so Angerine is actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, she is the first Malaysian that I have interviewed. After all this series, I think I'm so grateful that Angerine actually willing to jump on here to share her story.
Oh, what an honor. It's so good.
Thank you.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah, I just realized that you are actually the first Malaysian, even though we are both from Malaysia and we have this background. So for those of you who's wondering how did I get to know Angerine, we actually don't really know each other that well. The first time I met Angerine was actually at one of the Malaysian makan festival. Makan is like eatery festival, and she was there selling the curry puff, and that was so yummy. I just can't forget the curry puff that she made.
Thank you so much. Actually, yeah, that was a very huge encouragement because you were the first one who made the recommendations on my Facebook page, the business Facebook page.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. So Angerine, do you want, I know that Angerine is doing she is making curry puff sometime, and aside from that, she also having another business which is Smiley Campervan. So before we go into any further about your business first, do you want to tell others who is Angerine Leong really is?
Okay. Angerine is a mother of two. I have two kids, one daughter and one son. They're now in high school. And also I have a full-time job. I have a full-time job plus other businesses while looking after the family. So this is the main thing. And currently I'm at the stage of living the way that will, how to say, like color my life. And because I wanted my life to be more meaningful at this stage, because my son, my daughter, they're already in high school. So I just got the feelings that, yeah, it's time to do something for myself. It's not always the family, you know. They have to learn how to be independent, do things themselves. I have to let go now.
Wow, that's a big thing, especially for moms and for women as well. So what got you into having this thought? Because a lot of people, it's not many people having this awareness that they have to put themselves first, especially for women. What got you into this awareness that you finally wanted to do something for yourself?
Actually, it's of course there's definitely something happened in my life, especially about maybe 6 years ago. When my kid was still very young, they just started their primary school, year 1, year 2. And I have to say, I think I was like the normal mother, devoted my whole life, my time, my energy, everything just for the kids and for the family. All right, cook, work, come home, and took the kids for like after school session, lesson, learning activities, whatever activities. It's all about them. And then one day, I found myself that I don't know why suddenly I was asking myself a question. How about if I die today? You know, what happened if I die today? Then I was thinking, then what have I done to myself? Honestly, my brain was like blank, nothing. I didn't do any single thing for myself. Yeah. And then I was thinking that I was already like, what was that time? Maybe 40 years old, about 40 years old, or 41, 42 at the time. And I was thinking that no. I think I will feel so sorry for myself because life is unpredictable, right? No one knows what will happen tomorrow or today or later.
Sure.
Yeah. So what happened is something happened to me that I really have to leave, you know, and then what I will worry the most, and also what have I done to myself. That is the most important thing that really clicked to my mind. And I was thinking about my mother. Yeah, because I'm a mother. I was a mother, and also I was also started thinking about my own mother because honestly, she gave me a lot, you know. And when I was small, whatever I wanted to learn, she never said no to me. She let me go and learn painting lesson, piano lesson, swimming lesson, dancing lesson. She never forced me, never asked me to learn any of this. I was the one who asked for that. And she never said no. She said, okay, go. You know, and then she works very hard as well. I came here to study, came to Australia in 1996 to do my bachelor. And also I changed my course from Bachelor of Commerce to Bachelor of Arts in Music. Yes, I didn't tell her until I changed after the census day. I've told her that too late to change. Now I'm going to do music.
Wow.
And yes, and then she said, okay, you just do it. I just don't want you to blame me when you know, in the future. But I told her that I was responsible for the consequence if I wouldn't find a job, whatever. Yeah, so she always there to support me. See, she always be there, like give me what I wanted. So to me, if my life is blank, you know, like what? Nothing. I feel so sorry for my mom. Actually, I'm not really sorry for myself yet, you know. I feel was first person I was in my mind was my mother. You know, like just like what I hope my daughter, when she grow up, she'll be happy. You know, her life is colorful. It's not boring. Yeah, do something that make her happy. This is what I want. She doesn't need to make a lot of money, but she will do something that she feel like, you know, satisfying, happy, and yes, it's not boring. And also they have have a good life. Good life doesn't mean that you have a good money, but mentally, physically, that kind of things. Yeah, that's how I started my business.
Wow, that's so beautiful. And that was actually because the other day I'll just talk about hero's journey. Everyone have a hero's journey in their life, and some of the people actually have that realization when they was hit hard with something. And you did have that realization a few years ago, and it was great that you actually people actually literally sometimes people only realize that at the end of their life and they started to feel regrets, right? And you actually have that realization while you are still in your early 40s and see at where you're going now. You have I saw your pictures, you're traveling around Australia, and that was so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that story, Angerine.
No. Actually, I really like, you know, what you're doing now. It's not everyone can do what you're doing now. I really admire you as well. But, and also I have the same thought with you. I really hope a lot of women, you know, please, our life is not just for the family. We own our life, okay? We actually are the boss for our own life. So do something, maybe they have to think about, you know, I really want, because I've seen so many women and my friends, they got married. They just think about the family all the time. I have to go back and cook. I have to do this for my kids. I have to do this for my family. All this kind of thing. Yes, we need to be there because that is our responsibility because we're family. But to me, we also have to think about ourselves. Right? We cannot be selfless.
That's right.
The thing. Yeah. So easily for women, once they got married, they became selfless. Totally don't agree with that. We can be tough too. We can be strong too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so beautiful share and so spot on and so true that that's the society expectation that actually limit the a lot of women doing the things that they didn't even realize that they are capable of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's so true. And I love what you're doing. So you also started this Smiley Campervan, and it's amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, you actually built the van yourself or something like that?
I cannot say that I cannot take all the credit. I have a friend who is so handy. He can do a lot of the carpentry works. So I asked him to help me to build the structure, but I came up with the design. I came up with the design. I took everything off. If you see my Smiley Campervan Facebook page, you can see that small video clips that, you know, from the original version, how I make it empty to make it as an empty van, did the installation myself, everything. And then we started to have all this, you know, the frame on and the ceiling on, everything. Yes, if I would say I have done maybe 60% of it. And then the bigger one, the heavy one, then I need my friends, you know, who are so handy to help me to do it. Yes, but I came up with the design, and then the later stage, the cosmetic part, I did everything myself.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. It is.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Actually, I really enjoy doing it.
That's so cool. And it's with the campervan and with the idea of having that campervan business. Did you have any experience prior to this?
Yes. You know how I actually started with this campervan? My best friend is my best friend. She is my soulmate as well. She came and visit me last year, September. So before she decided to come, and suddenly she told me that, hey, you know what? when I go to Sydney, to Australia, I'm thinking of trying the Campervan. And I asked her because I knew about caravan. I knew about motorhome. Okay. But I didn't know about Campervan. Because caravan, motorhome, I like the way they travel, but I know it's too big for me to drive around. I'm not going to tow a caravan. I don't think I can do that. Motorhome is too big as well. So I never thought about driving this kind of vehicle for, for traveling until she told me about Campervan. I said, what was that? So I quickly searched. Oh, it's a smaller version of the motorhome. I said, good idea. I like it. I said, go. Okay. So when she came, that was last year. My daughter was year 7. My son was year 6. And she came. I asked her, you come in the last week of the term. So worst come to worst, they only need, I just need someone, arrange someone to send them to school for the last few days, of the term, and then school holidays, they can do whatever they want at home. So I can manage them, because I don't need to do the drop-off pickup from school. And yes, so we went out for 10 days. We hired a camper van in September when she came. We went out, we drove all the way to Gold Coast. We stopped along the way. And also when we came back, stopped along the way, and we fell in love with Campervan. We were so shocked about the people who travel with Campervan. Caravan, we stay at the holiday park where the caravan site. Yes, we were so impressed with the people who actually, because in the past I was thinking that, those people who stay at the caravan park, they may be a bit like hippie, loud music, and yeah, party, all this kind of thing. Totally opposite. Oh my God, they are so well behaved, so good. And we fell in love. So at the end of the trip, when we came back to Sydney, we decided we went to buy a van. Yes. So we decided. So I bought the van, and straight away also I went back to Singapore for holiday as well, straight after the Campervan trip. So of course I got someone here, the agent helped me to do everything. Got the van while I was in Singapore. After I came back from Singapore, then I started to do the research, the design, and the parts, the accessory, what I need. I think I watched over 200 video clips on YouTube.
Wow.
To see how people, do the Campervan. Yes. Yes. So I don't know whether I also have another business. I used to have a renovation business as well. So I have all these people at first I thought I have all these people who can help me to do the fit out of the Campervan. But when I really got a van, everyone just pull out. They say, oh, I'm busy, I can't do this. And then you find another person and they promise, okay, I can help you to do your fit out. Give me the plan, the design. Okay, I'll do it for you. Last minute, pull out again. I'm busy. I cannot do it anymore. So I was very, very unhappy, honestly. So I decided, okay, fine. I do it myself. Not going to ask anyone at all until one day I found my friends who actually really interested to help me. I said, okay, good. You help me. We do it together. So we did it. So I started end of November. And then we finished end of December, 5 weeks in total.
Yes. Wow. So that was last year?
Last year. 2022.
That's amazing.
Yes. And also another reason that I got this Campervan is because since that first Campervan trip, I already know I will tour around Australia, and the only way to tour around Australia is by car, right? And also Campervan is the best option because we can still sleep in the van. The experience is like camping. Have you been to camping? It's a different type of experience than you sleep in a hotel room. It's very, very different. And I really like the holiday park, the Campervan park environment is so good, so peaceful. And at the same time, we can rent it out. While I'm not using it, I can rent it out. So I can make some money too.
That's a very clever idea, and
Yeah,
that's
that's why that means people are paying for your travel, honestly, because you might use the camper van for free, right? Because you still have income. You can still generate income from these vehicles. Yeah, this camper van. Yeah, so far I have, I think, 6 group of people hiring it. And honestly, my first group of Malaysian is now using my camper van. Another idea is I'm promoting to Malaysian. Yeah, because a lot Malaysian normally they go travel is by tour. They don't know Australia is very big. They need a car, right? So now we are trying to introduce them. This is a new way. It's the best way to travel in Australia because you can see a lot of things while you're driving along the coastline, or you can see something so different. Yeah. So first group from Malaysia is now having their enjoying their time in Gold Coast, and also we provide itinerary. We tell them, okay, first stop where you should go. I give them all the itinerary so they don't have to do any research. I tell them this is where I recommend you to go, to stop, to have lunch, whatever thing. And also I provide food as well, breakfast and dinner. If they're going to cook breakfast, they can cook on site. So I provide all the food for them. So they just arrive, pick up the car, order food, everything in the van for them, ready to go.
Wow, that's amazing. And you're actually literally having this traveling business as well, and you have provide the itinerary. Are you planning to have more van?
Yes, all my businesses, of course, I will set up the business for something. It's not for no reason. It's not just for own leisure. I was still thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, are you going to have more vans in the future?
See how it goes. Yes, if there is the opportunity, if we can see the potential, and like the demand is getting higher, definitely I'm going to get a more van. Yeah. And also and see how, if any other people interested, because I know how to do the fit out and everything. And I can do the fit out and maybe manage for some people. Already approached me, then asked me, can you manage for me? You do the fit out, everything, and after that I don't want to know anything. It's like Airbnb, and then they just let me manage. I do the listing, and then when people come, I do the check-in, check-out, all this kind of thing.
Wow. That's such a beautiful idea. It's not only that you are able to traveling in it, and you are also allow more people to have that opportunities to supply them with this van, and they can travel around, and it's so good, and especially for our fellow Malaysians as well.
I know, especially for Malaysian, because they don't know, like coming to Australia, it's not just go to Opera House, Blue Mountain, the Three Sisters, that kind of places. There are more to see. See. And also, of course, those places that I recommend them to go are those, us local who knows, these places. Yeah. And normally won't be on the itinerary if they are joining the tour. Yeah. So, and also we give them a very good budget. Like this group, they're only paying, I think, Malaysian ringgit, 8,000 per person.
Wow.
Including air ticket, we did the budget for them. We came out everything, and then including their air ticket. I think they only spend cost them about, I think, 8,000 or 8,500 per person for 12 days of the Campervan trip.
Wow. That is included the airfare, did you say? Wow. Airfare. That's amazing.
I know, because they save on the car hiring cost, because car hiring and accommodation, if you hire a campervan, meaning these two items already combined.
Yes.
And also they can cook themselves in the morning rather than, stay in a hotel, you have to pay for your breakfast. And then you save from your breakfast. And then most of the time, I think they're on the trip for about 10-11 days. 5 nights they will eat outside, okay? And then the rest of the night they can eat on the camp, on the site, and they can just cook the food that are provided.
Wow, that's really handy. I think I can see that it is so much more convenient for them to travel in campervan. And one good thing about campervan that you mentioned earlier is that it wasn't as big as the like caravan or the motor van. And if
Mm.
they decided to go to the hotel, they still can park it somewhere and go to the hotel.
Yes. And also because my van is quite not the big van. That's why no one believed me when I first got the van, including my husband, and said, no way you can change this van and to sleep 4 people, because I wanted to sleep 4 people. So at least my own family can go out, 2 kids and 2 adults, right? Yeah. So I said, don't worry. I believe in my own design. Okay. I believe it will work. And then it worked.
Wow.
It does work. But of course, that is the things like renovation. Whatever on the plan may not be, exactly will go smoothly when you're actually doing the work. So I still have to make some changes and adjustment while we are doing the fit out. But it's a very, very fun experience. Very, very fun. Yeah. So my van is also quite easy to drive out. So what we normally do is we park at the caravan park, the next day morning, we normally will leave the campervan park around 10 o'clock. We have breakfast, took our own sweet time, take it easy. And then I will take my kids out to drive around to find all these hidden gems, if anything interesting. And because my van is not a big van, so it's easy to park off street. Yeah, so it's easy. You can just drive as a normal car. The only thing is you cannot go undercover car, that's it, because I have an air conditioner. Yeah, the special part of my van is a lot of camper van here, they don't have air conditioner. My van have air conditioner. So even though winter, you can heat it on. As long as you are hiring a power site. They need a power to connect it to it.
Okay, well, it's also luxury one.
It's not really luxury, but at least it's comfortable to me. Like whatever you need is available. This is what we want. We want a practical van rather than a fancy van, because a lot of Ira, the first thing they asked me, do you have toilet in the van? I said, no. I said, think about it. Who wants toilet in the van? Yeah, it looks very fancy to have toilet in the van. Think about it. Who is going to do the cleaning? Are you going to throw all the stuff, Someone have to dispose, to clean.
That's right.
And then Australia, when we travel by the normal car, we can just stop by at the McDonald's or petrol station to use the toilet. Then why you need to use a toilet in the van?
Yeah, right? And all the campsite, they have toilet and shower as well.
The shower to me is not necessarily. And also I encourage people to stay on the caravan park rather in the bush. Yeah. Okay. So if you have the caravan park, then all the facilities are available. You can have shower, you have camp kitchen, you have everything. Even though I do provide cooktop and the bench, and the fridge as well. Fridge is the most important thing. I love the fridge. Yeah. Even though sometimes when we went out for lunch and then my kids can't finish the food, I can still take it away and put it in the fridge, save it for dinner,
Yeah, so much more convenient for sure. That's such a beautiful and clever idea, I think. So it's so good that actually you are starting this business. What are the business that you have aside from the campervan?
Just now I did mention about the renovation business, but that was only when during COVID period. I got all this renovation job from a childcare center group. They have 20 childcare centers in New South Wales, Sydney, and Wollongong. And then now I will do less on the renovations. I mainly focus on their maintenance. So childcare maintenance business is one of my core business as well. Yeah. So apart from that, yes, as I said, I'm working full time at the university.
Wow.
Yeah. Working as well. Now I'm working. Yeah, I'm working at a university full time, plus doing this childcare maintenance, and also another business called is for the online coaching business, like tuition. But we don't really like tuitions. Because this is because I work at the university, to me, I don't know whether they will get offended to anyone, but personally, I don't believe in academic success. I don't believe in the score on the report card. What I really want is the inner strength. you know.
Mm.
So
So
coaching,
what do
yeah,
you do in the university?
I manage scholarship. I manage
Wow.
scholarship for all the international students at the university. So
Mm.
scholarship, that's why that also changed my mentality a lot, because every day I've seen all these scholarship students. Of course, they are of course the academics should be better than average people in order to get the scholarship. But how to say, with the new generation, maybe I'm a bit old school.
Mm-mm.
All right. So I still don't really quite understand the way they think. And honestly, I don't really agree the way
Mm-hmm.
they do things as well, you know. So that is why I'm not really focused on the kids academic of course they don't be behind. As long as they're catching up, they know what they're doing, I'm happy. They don't need to be number one. Yeah.
This is not old school. This is very new thinking, because our old school parents always think that academic is everything. And that's a lot of, even though my circle of friends as well, they thought that they have to send their kids to tutoring, and they have to be like in the selective school because of the academic. And yeah, I would like you to share on that as well, because since you're working in the university in that, what make you have that thinking?
Because I'm a person that I love analyzing things. So this is how I believe. In the past, this is what I keep telling, especially I'm in this like renovation and constructions business, childcare maintenance. I have a lot of tradies working with me. I have to deal with tradies all the time. Okay. And most of them, they've never been to university. Okay. It's because of their scale. They are hardworking. They are good people. They keep their promise. They do things professionally. Okay. And you can see they make more money than anyone else sitting in the office. All right. Okay. Yes. So I have to say, I cannot apply this to all countries in the world, but at least in Australia, you don't need that. Australia, as long as you have a good working attitude, like hardworking, you will survive. And maybe you will survive, you will live better life than anyone else, you know, unless you want to become a doctor, that is different story. You really need to do very well academically, because of course I work at the university. I know the reason why. Honestly, it's not because they want the smartest. I know also the reason why that they have to set that score so high, because university, you can't, of course you cannot get the average person to become a doctor, because it's so hard to study. You are, you know, trying to heal a sick person, right? But another reason is there's not many places available at the university for medicine. They also have to keep it for local, and then, you know, maybe one university, they only have 100 places available each year. So how they filter out, you know, so that's why they have no choice. They have to give it to the top 100 students who submit the application to them. It's not because they want to get the smartest. Also, another reason is they cannot have so many places available. Like you are going to do a Bachelor of Business, they can have 2,000 places available because of the common study area. You know, they have a lot of professors who actually teach that area. But medicine, you can't. That's why it's also very expensive. The fees is expensive because they can only focus on a smaller group of students with a higher and also more expensive professor. Yeah, all other specialists. All the professors are specialists, right? Otherwise, they cannot teach the medicine student. Yeah, they cannot be a GP to teach a student. They should be a specialist. So they are very expensive as well. They do research all the time. So that's another reason. So if you want to be a dentist, well, you know, all these professional like medicine, of course, you can't escape. You really have to do well academic in order to get into this field. Other than that, to me, not that important.
That's something that, thank you so much for sharing that, Angerine. That's something that,
attitude. Because imagine someone who, if you think about it, someone who are so smart, IQ very high, very smart. It doesn't mean that person is a good person. That person can be selfish. That person can have no people skill at all, doesn't know how to interact with people, you know, and have no friends and so lonely in her in his own world or her world. Think about it. So smart doesn't mean that, will bring a good life to his world. But that's why I don't emphasize on IQ. I emphasize on EQ. I always keep telling but I have to say, sorry, my kids also don't really have a high EQ. That's why I have to let go. I have to let go. I want them to be independent as early as possible. So how I started this online coaching business is actually my son. He was the one who, and also COVID online. They couldn't go to school because only at that time I realized that he was not coping with his schoolwork at all. He thought he was, but when I look at his year 3 net plan result, I almost fell off my chair. I said, even though I'm not really focused academic, but not to this extent, it's really bottom of the graph, okay? Yeah, and he didn't know, and the problem is he didn't know his own problem. And then after that, I found out it's because he didn't do his homework, and also school have not much homework, and because to me, homework is not giving a pressure, extra burden to a kid. It's just for them to practice what they have been taught at school, what they've learned from school. And then homework, I don't agree with a lot of homework, but they still need to be given the homework for practice, to make sure they really understand what they have learned. That's it. So that is how I started the online coaching business. The first program I have was actually not really the business. I started with my son first as an experiment. I have to coach someone from Malaysia, from Malaysia, to do a study companion, meaning to watch him, to guide him to do his homework. Yes. So study companion, not tutoring. Okay. I have another tutor for him in Sydney. But because the tutor also gave me some feedback, say, Angerine, if he's still not doing his homework, it's no point continuing because it's waste of my time, his time, and your money. Yeah, it's true, because every week he forgot what he have learned from last week, because tutoring only once a week. So every Saturday, for example, every Saturday. So if he doesn't do his homework, meaning on Friday, he started to try to do the homework, but he had forgotten because it's been a week already. Yeah. So I arranged this study companion to guide him, first of all, planning scale, how to plan your homework, time management. Okay. Because in the end, he also admitted to me, Mommy, I will struggle. I don't know what to start, how to start doing my homework. He didn't know at all. So that is how I started. We have 3 sessions, and then to split the work and tell him you don't have to finish everything at once. You just do bit by bit. You have to split as long as you can finish by this date. Yeah. So to improve his work planning scale. And then just after 1 or 2 months, we started to see the result already. Very quick.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I started to, Chinese lesson came in. Yes, because I want them to learn Chinese. Yes, unfortunately, they started Chinese, they went to Chinese school, all different Chinese, lesson, because to me, Chinese is so important. Unsuccessful, fail. Okay, I couldn't see anything from them. They couldn't even write their name. After 3 to 5 years, my daughter had the lesson longer than my son. Then I gave up. So because of this, the study companions worked so well on my son. Then I thought, yes, online shouldn't be a problem, right? Online shouldn't be a problem. So I started the Chinese online lesson. So they do one-on-one. So of course, online, once you do a group lesson, it's a bit hard. I don't know how to see the result. That's why our all online coaching lessons are all one-to-one for language, maximum 2 students to 1 coach. And then a bit. And also we have the revision session as well. So the Chinese lesson, 3 lessons a week. So 1 lesson, another 2 sessions, a revision session. Because like I said, homework is so important, right? So that's how I analyze my kids. They all went to Chinese school once a week, came home still not learning anything, because they are not really, even though when they do homework, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they just do it for the sake of doing it. They are not really learning. So they forget. So, but with the revision session, they have the coach to do the revision with them, together. So to make sure they understand what have been taught. Yeah. And yes, so after that, I also started the English conversations session because I deal with a lot of tradies. Some tradies are Chinese. You need to improve your English speaking skill. All right. That is how I started in the English conversational online coaching session as well. And also now also we have a lot of Chinese in Malaysia. And yes, they started to take our lesson.
Oh, wow. So basically the coach is from Malaysia?
All my coaches are in Malaysia.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. And my students can be anywhere in the world. We have students in UK, US, Dubai, of course, because there are Chinese in Dubai as well, Australia. Yes. So
wow, that's such a great initiative there. So how can people find you or about this coaching?
We have a website called beestarglobal.com.
Global.com.
Yeah. So it's on the website, and so it's English and Chinese version, and they can find more information. Yes, apart from languages, study companion, we also have the music lesson, the piano music theory, and also the Chinese instrument called guzheng. Guzheng. Yes, I'm
online as well.
Online, very good. I'm taking online the guzheng lesson. Like last night, I just had my lesson. Yeah, wow. So I'm taking the online guzheng lesson as well because the tutor is so good, very, very good. Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's
online,
amazing.
That's why we try to educate people. Online lesson actually sometimes is better than physical lesson. Of course, for parents, save a lot of our time to do the pickup and drop off. That saves so much time. Yeah. Secondly, is you are training the kids to take the initiative. They should know, hey, what time? I don't have to tell my kids to have lesson. I give them the timetable. Okay, this is the time. Okay, you can all manage yourself. And so I can go out. I can do my work. I go out not for fun. I go out for work and everything, so they can stay at home and then have their lesson. When time's up, they automatically log in and then they start having the lesson. So when sometimes, for example, my son, we ask the coach that you have to make sure the students is on the screen, okay, all the time. If they're out the screen for 5 minutes, you have to report to the parent.
Wow, that's so clever. You have all this business minded. You are so business minded. You have all these clever ideas that you created from Campervan to online learning. That has been so all these brilliant ideas. So have you always been this business minded, Angerine?
I never thought about that, honestly. As I told you, I was so family orientated. My whole thought was just my 2 kids. I think I put too much time. I shouldn't say I took time because I have it's very happy to be with them, especially at that stage, right? When they were so young, so cute. Yeah, it's good that we have the opportunity to spend more time with them. It's not like when I look at my relatives, my friends in Malaysia, they work so they really have to work very hard, very long hours. Normally their kids have to go to the nursery or let people who look after overnight as well. They can only see their kids like maybe once a week during the weekend, right? So I think we in Australia we can still manage that, to keep a very good time, like spend the good time with the kids during their childhood, to remember, to have a good memory. But yeah, so I never thought about that, honestly, whether I have this. But I have to say, all my businesses are not big. It's just very small thing. But this is within my capability. I'm only doing things within my capability. And why I do this online, everything online. I don't have a shop front because my situation is not allowing me to have a shop front, and also I don't want to do that as well, because when you have a shop front, you have these fixed expenses.
Yeah, bigger commitment for you.
Correct. And also I don't like doing things under stress. If you think about it, if we do things without the stress, your success rate is double, right? Once you're stressed, honestly, even though how capable you are, to me, the outcome won't be as good as when you have no stress. So I take it easy, So my online coaching business, we didn't really promote very hard. Now it's most of it's word of mouth. If you're doing good things, you just focus on your customer, your current students. If you are good, people will help you to promote. We don't have to do anything, and we are not greedy. I'm not greedy, but I have to say my online coaching is actually is in partnership with my best friend, because she is a music teacher in Malaysia. So she have all these resources. So she is the one who, manage the operational side. She will recruit all the coaches, She will make sure that what they have to do, and then we discuss. So we split the work. And also apart from that, I also teach piano myself, just on Thursday afternoon. Okay, just make sure myself not disconnected from this area, because as I said, I majored in music, when I was doing the bachelor, the undergrad. So I just want to make sure that I'm not disconnected. So only Thursday afternoon. It's not really for money, it's for my own leisure. Wow. And recently I just set up this food business, and also online.
Wow, food business, another business?
The curry puff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so many things that you are doing. You're playing different roles. So that's I want to say that's such a brilliant idea. Or even though you did say that it's a small business, but it's a brilliant idea, and it's very innovative as well, most of them. And I love that you're doing it at your leisure. You're not stressing yourself up, and you understand that the main thing for you probably is to be more relaxed, to be more happy, and that's the thing for you. So throughout setting up all these businesses, whether it's the curry puff, the Campervan, or the online tutoring, what are some of the challenges that you have faced?
Time
constraint.
Definitely it's time. I know a lot of people actually know I'm doing so many. It's first thing the first question they have, where's the time? Where have you got the time to do all these things? Yes, honestly, my schedule is very tight every day, because most of the time during the day I have to really focus on my university work, and also it's a lot of work, because I'm sort of like a one-person team to manage as I said, over 4,000 students.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have to think of a different way of doing things as well. So that's why. So that's why that is the key. When time is fixed 24 hours a day, you cannot make it 36 hours a day, right? So when that is thing we can't change, to me, we need to change ourselves. So we have to do things differently. That's why I say, that's why I don't have anything like fixed. I do online, something manageable, like my childcare management business. Everything just phone. I just need to find a good app, or a software, the way to communicate. They can lock the job there. When I see, okay, there's a job that I need to do. Okay, I have to contact my tradies, hey, this center, you have to look at this. This is the issue. All the kind. You have to set up a system. Like, for example, the childcare center, they lock a job. I need to let them know, okay, so what is the issue? You need to describe the issue. Okay, send me some photo. All right, I pass it on to the tradie. So the tradie, actually, the subby have some idea, okay, what is going on? Like, for example, plumber. Okay, I don't want to send them for nothing. I want to let them know at least what is going on. So is this urgent or not? And some of them, they can contact the center director to arrange a time to visit to solve the problem. So that's the thing. I need to have a good team, a good tradies to work with me. And then at the same time, you have to set up a system or procedure for the client, the customer, how to manage them to make my life easier. So you actually have to keep thinking how to make things like more efficiently. Not spend, it's more productive. I don't like wasting time on something that, not giving me any outcome, any result. We just need to keep improving. It's not getting worse, not going backward. Yeah. Right. And also, luckily, I'm a person who doesn't like to go out at all. I can stay in my home office the whole day.
Wow.
Yes, even though that's why I know, honestly, I don't have many friends. to me, I only need the friends that, because I can't even go out because they have to understand me. My friends, they all have to understand me. I won't go out to have coffee with you. It's waste of time to me because you don't have the time as well. And to me, if you are my true friends, you'd really, really understand me. And then when I really go out, we go out on a Campervan trip. Then we can talk nonstop.
Wow.
Yes. I just had that with a friend of mine who's a very good friend. She was also very busy. Just 2 weeks ago, we just went out for Umina Beach. I don't know whether you know Umina Beach. It's only 90 minutes from here. Very beautiful place. Next time, I recommend you should bring your kids there. Very, very beautiful place. So yeah, we were there for 2 nights. We talked nonstop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that the one that in your Campervan website? Is that your friends or your partner that's going with you?
No, the one went with Umina is not up yet. Yeah. So
Okay.
my best friend was the one on the Facebook.
She's the one traveling with you all the time.
Yes. So she's now taking the group to Gold Coast. She become a tour guide now.
She's becoming a tour guide. Wow, that's amazing. Are you two business partners as well?
Yes. So one thing good is also, I believe sometimes doing business nowadays, if all on your own, honestly, it's quite hard, very hard, because so many areas you have to look after, like marketing, the sales, finance, operations, a lot. Even though a small business involve all this area, if just one person, honestly, it's very hard to cope. Yeah, but when you have a good partner, but of course, getting a partner is challenging too.
Of course.
Yeah, very lucky to have my best friend. It's so funny. She is so like me. We have common interests. We have the common mentality, the thought, everything is the same, even though our appearance look almost the same. If we go out there.
I thought that's your sister or something like that.
Yeah, and we have the same last name. We have same family name too. So when our people might think we are sisters. Yes. So it's good. So every time, sometimes you need someone like that. For example, sometimes you will reach to a stage that, when you don't know what should I do, the decision, you have the idea, but you just don't know, should I, proceed? Should I? Sometimes you just need someone just to acknowledge. Yeah, it's fine. Go. We just go. All right. Anything, we better the consequence together. So when you have someone like, yes, go, don't worry, just do it.
Yeah.
You will feel like, you have a lot of power. Okay, just go. Yeah. So it's very good that, yes. And even though my other businesses that she doesn't, play a part, but I can still consult for her opinion, and she always gives me a very good feedback because she is doing her own business in Malaysia as well. She have She have a very big music center as well. The music center is not just teaching piano. They have Chinese, English, math. In Malaysia nowadays you can't survive just to teach piano as a music center.
This helps to be everything.
Correct. So, and her music center already have like maybe 400 students, 500 students. Yeah. So that's why. So we can discuss the idea, but luckily we also have the same hobby and we see things the same as well. It's very
important to have the same values to work together, or else it will be very challenging as well. And you are very blessed to have her, and you two help each other to supporting each other as well.
Yeah, and also she understands that I have family, right? And then she also understands something like I set up the food business. Hey, I'm so busy with my food business now because I'm setting up, And then she said, okay, don't worry. I will do more on the online coaching business. She will help me to do some of my parts, so I don't have to worry at that stage, at that period. I can more focus on my new business. That is very supportive. So that is good.
Yeah, of course. That's so beautiful that you have this kind of friends who is like friends and also partners in crime, that you can just go anywhere to go traveling. Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
The challenge is time, but time is because I have this, thing of the system to manage it, a system in place or mechanism in place to manage all the works that you have to do. And of course, I don't go out. And the most important thing is also I have a very good partner. That is how I solve my challenge.
Wow, that's so good. So you mentioned about the time, and you are talking about the system. How about how do you manage the family and the work?
Because I'm at home all the time. I'm at home all
Okay.
the time. That means I'm spending my time with my kids all the time already. And already because I started to let go since, honestly, it's COVID. A lot of people think COVID is very bad. Of course, bad is maybe the threat to our health. But to me, that was a very good thing for my kids, because that is how to train them to be independent, to do things themselves. My kids, my younger one actually started cooking during that time, because he knew that his mother was crazy with the work, especially university. We were struck so hard during COVID, a lot of international students, right? So I actually completely forgotten that I was at home and I didn't prepare their lunch because they were at home. I thought they were at school. Normally lunchtime you don't have to prepare lunch during the school time.
Yeah.
I totally completely forgotten. And then when they walk close me, I say, go away. Okay. Because I have million things happening at the university and we need to solve, we need to act very quickly. Until one day, oh yes, you said, and then until when I finish everything, then I realized, oh yes, my kids are at home. 3:00. They didn't have, because that's not, I asked them to go away. I didn't really think about, don't talk to me, go away, And then I realized that, oh, I forgot to prepare their lunch, Then you know what? My son was very cute. He just walked away. He went to the kitchen. He just whatever he could find, and then yes. And then after that, he was like getting, how to say, he's the person is how to say, should I say brave? Sometimes he's not that brave, but he will do something that secretly. Whenever he thinks he can do it secretly. He won't, and then one day I went out to look for a job, to check on the a potential renovation job for a childcare center. That's how it works for. I'm really glad that I can do the childcare center job. It's because childcare center, they open very early, like 7:00. I can get up early, all right, as long as I come back home to do my university work from 9:00. So before 9, I can go to any childcare center to look at the site, to talk to them, what you want to do with the renovation. Even for Wollongong, I have to leave like 5:00 in the morning. Okay, I got to Wollongong around like 6:30, 7:00. So because they'll start from 7, quickly talk to my supervisor. Okay, this is what needs to be done. And then quickly drop back. So that's why childcare centers business, that's why I have to say, not every business. I can do every business. I just have to find a business that suits my condition. That's how, and my son started to cook. And I let him cook. Because one day I came back home and I found 2 very beautiful fried egg on the dining table. And then I was thinking, who cooked this, fried egg so beautifully? Then my cousin actually lives with me. He's doing his university here. So he lives with me. He said, hey, do you know, Reese says now he actually started to turn on the stove and then start cooking the egg. And then he actually wanted to do a scrambled egg, and it turned out to be a fried egg. And he didn't want to eat fried egg. He only eats scrambled egg. Then I taught him how to do scrambled egg. So he had the scrambled egg. Now these 2 beautiful fried eggs are here. Yeah. So that is how he started. Yeah. So when he said he wanted fried rice, I teach him. I actually taught him how to make fried rice. So he started to learn, and then he started to watch YouTube, and he can cook very beautiful steak. Yeah. Wow. So whenever he wants to cook, then he can cook. So that is how I started. Like go at the beginning, I just sit there. I just sat there when he cooked. Okay, just to supervise instead, like he's not get burned. But now I don't really need to. I have the confidence in him already, so I don't have to worry. So at least I know he won't starve himself. Yeah. So there's something in the kitchen. Then he can cook himself. But my daughter is a bit lazy. She can cook, but she doesn't really want to cook. Yes. Yeah. But at least they can be independent.
Yeah, as you say, COVID is the blessing in disguise, and they get to learn a lot of things, and there's a lot of different opportunities come out during that pandemic time as well. And for
Mm.
your boy to know that, yeah, he just have to cook to so that he
Yeah,
don't
that
get.
is very important, right? This is
Yeah,
surviving skill. Honestly,
that's
I
right.
ask a lot of my friends, like when we back to this academic success topic, like a lot of parents always push for the academic. Honestly, as a parent, why we want our kids to be so good academically? To me, I thought that I always think about the reason behind when we do something. Definitely, that's the reason. Like for example, when we eat, why we are eating? Because we're hungry or because
Yeah.
we have craving, we love that food. That is a reason, right? We won't do anything without a reason. So when we want our kids to perform so well academically, what is the reason? Apart from they want to become a doctor, all right, that is an exceptional case. But in general, what is the reason that you want your kids to study so hard and then become so, like maybe top in the class or go to selective school and everything is just study, 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 study. All right, nothing else. You don't have to worry about other things. What's the reason? To me is we hope that they can find a better job. They can be independent. They can stand on their own feet when they go older. When they got, when they go out and work. But
So true.
but don't you think surviving skill is more important?
Yeah, of course. It's so true. You got that right there. It's spot on, because a lot of people should actually let the kids understanding what's the motive of them for studying. Some of them, you don't, a lot of people that probably they've graduated from the uni and they just go to uni to get a certificate, just to get a certificate. They didn't know what to do after they finished uni. And that's
Yes,
a very good, you mentioned important skill that need to learn. First thing is emotionally, they need to be equipped because they need to survive as well. They need to have a better emotion rather than just to study and not knowing what to do after.
yeah, because this is how I found having good people skill is more important than having a good knowledge. When you come to the job market,
That's right.
the interview is the first thing. You go for an interview. If you don't have a good people skill, you don't know how to sell yourself. Unfortunately, that's the reality. You can't say, hey, I have a better knowledge than the other person. How are you going to prove that you have a better knowledge? How are you going to, during the interview session, they don't know you, right? Yeah, you're new to them. The only thing difference that, why people will select the other candidate, not you, is because they know how to sell themselves.
Yes.
All right? You don't know. If you don't have a good people skill, you wouldn't know. You will answer, like they ask you one question, you give them one answer. Or sometimes you just,
Yeah, that's so true. I think the most important skills for kids to learn, one thing is sales, the other thing is like communication, like public speaking, or to speak. How do you sell? How do you speak? Basically, we are actually selling every day, so selling the ideas and everything.
Yes, it's true. Like I've told my friends, I don't believe that just like my renovation job or the childcare maintenance job, right? I told my clients, they all know I don't even know how to lay a tile. Okay, I don't know how to do painting, of course, professionally. All right, but I can get the job. All right, and also I can manage the trading. They know I have no knowledge. Yeah, but
Wow.
yeah, but I can manage them. It's not like I'm capable, but sometimes to me is your people skill. I'm very upfront with them. Like for example, I'm not treating you as like working for me. We work together. You're like my partner. We get the job together, right? We need a win-win situation. I'm not going to be, can be very direct because we don't have time. We're short of time. I just tell you, okay, straight to the point. This is the issue. Can you be there? Okay, so just text message send, and then they're okay. Yeah, I'll be there. What time? I said, cool. I will let the sender. So and also when the renovations, you involve so many different trades. You have to manage them, right? So that's why that's why I don't understand why people think that, I cannot do this because I don't have the knowledge. Sometimes you don't need the knowledge.
Wow.
Right?
You are someone who is very good in people, because what you're sharing, you're very resourceful. You got all these resources, you got all these people that you can connect with. Is that
But
something
I have to say they won't come to you. You have to go and approach them and filter. Yeah, so you cannot be afraid to say no to them. I have experienced that was one painter. He didn't listen to my briefing and didn't pay attention to what I have instructed. After one day, something happened. I just asked the supervisor out this person. I don't want to see him to be on my side anymore. So unfortunately, because we can't afford to keep letting people to make mistakes, and then I'm the one who face the customer. Okay, they are not, they don't care. So that is something that's why we have to always understand human beings' mentality. When they are not the one who face the consequence, they don't care.
Of course,
right?
Some of them they just don't really care about that.
Correct. So you have to understand. So, and in order for us to make sure that we can please and to show the good side of to our customer, our clients, then we have to stand from their perspective, what they want. So we have to talk with them the same language. So when I go to the trading part, I have to talk their language. So that is the thing. So to me, people management skill is just you need to know what to talk, even though sometimes same issue happen, it's just how you're going to address the issue, and don't make the issue become very big. You're just trying to control the issue and then think of solution, how to minimize it. So how you're going to handle the clients, then how you're going to persuade your trading. Let's do it. Okay, but don't charge me too much, otherwise I'm going bankrupt. Okay, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Wow, there's so many skills that you're having. I think that you are not only that, from what you share, you have these brilliant ideas that you created a few business that is, so I would say, first in many. And the other one is that you have this people skill. You know how to be firm with the trading, because it's not easy, especially they are all in the men business, and you are so strong. And you did mention earlier, prior to this, you were just a mom and you didn't really have all these skills, or even has you always been this firm?
No.
Wow.
So the people skill that you mentioned, I have to say, is through experience. You keep growing, you learn. You will know that, to a stage when, especially when you do business, I believe every business, if you really want to keep your business going, you need to be firm. You cannot be, like when you have to say no, you have to say no. But you can't really be like soft. And you have to make a decision. When you have to make a decision, you have to be like more like, how to say, you can't always think, oh, I don't want to do this. Should I do this? This kind of mind, you need to know what you are doing, what you want to achieve. Then aim to your goal, do whatever you can to achieve the goal. So that kind of things is, maybe that is something inside myself I didn't know in the past. But
that's what
I knew that I'm not a weak person. I knew that because I came here to study a lot of, I didn't go back to Malaysia for 5 years because I have to work. I have to work because I remember I promised my mom I'm responsible for the consequences because I changed the music. So I have to keep paying my tuition fee. So I used to somehow, during this term, I worked very hard. I had 3 jobs when I was at uni. 3 jobs, because I keep that 3 jobs even though I don't work a lot, but I have to keep them. And from there, I already learned that because I want to keep these 3 jobs for my summer holidays. So if my performance is good during the normal day, during summer holiday, I can tell my boss, hey, now I'm on holiday, give me more time, more work. Okay, first thing, if they need more people, first thing they will, I'm in their mind, oh yes, incredible. If you are not a good worker, okay, only when we really desperate, then I will call you, right?
Wow,
that's the thing. I think the new generation, they don't know this kind of thing because their life is too good,
too casual.
So
and there's all this instant gratitude and they want things faster. Everything is so fast now, and then they're just taking things for granted as well.
Correct. And I have to say that is the purpose. 50% of the reason I set up the food business because of my kids, because that business, they can get involved. I don't know whether you did notice the food event that you went. my daughter was hitting up the palm. You didn't see her. Yes, I wanted them to get involved. So every time when I went out for any food event, they have to go. They have to sell. They have to talk to people. I was just standing there and look at them to do it.
That's a very good experience for kids to start the business at a young age, and they see you doing it, and it will be implant that business minded in them as well. That's so good, and I really love that. You got so many stories to tell. I really enjoy. Like I wasn't. To all of you listeners out there, we wasn't doing any practice before this. Our conversation basically go with the flow, and from Campervan to tutoring and to a lot of different stories. And I wanted to ask you a lot more questions, Angerine. You got so many that I wanted to know about you as well. But because of the time, I know that you are very busy. And I really wanted to, maybe next time we have to invite you again to share with us the stories that you have. And I'm very, very curious on a lot of things that you, from where you were to today. But because of the time, we can't really talk more. And I've definitely wanted you to come back again next time.
Oh.
Yes, I really love that. And thank you so much again for your time. And I know you're super busy. So what is next for Angerine now?
This is what I'm thinking, how to expand my current businesses, especially my food business and also other. So I just have to think of how to manage all my current businesses better with my current resources, my capability. I believe there are still room for improvement. So that is how I'm trying to focus to expand while I'm not sacrificing my leisure time with my Smiley Campervan. So that is my next step.
Okay. Yeah, there is so many that you are doing, and I really admire how you're able to put everything together, and you are so just so organized. And I love that you are so you know your goals, you know where you are going, and you are doing things on purpose, and you're on your journey to purpose as well. That's so lovely.
Thank you.
So before I know that we have more than 1 hour already, and that is so like I say, I still have many questions to ask you, but then because of the time, I'm mindful of the time. So before we wrap up today's conversation, Angerine, is there any one piece of advice that you can give to other women out there?
Yes, definitely. Truly know yourself. Okay, don't be afraid to pursue your dream, because a lot of people, I don't care whether it's woman or man, I found a lot of us or a lot of people out there, they don't actually know themselves. They keep thinking that they know other people, they know themselves, but actually maybe they don't know themselves. Like when I say know yourself is like what you actually want. Like, is it like maybe contributing your whole life for the family is what you want? You really have to seriously think about that. I believe everyone will have some sort of dream. Maybe you have a dream car or whatever, but if you want to have a dream car, don't always expect people to give you the dream car as a gift. Maybe you can fight for it. You can get it yourself. Maybe that is a better way. You will feel more, the sense of satisfaction is more than what money can value.
That's
so
right.
Truly understand or know yourself is the piece of advice that I want to give to everyone, especially women.
Wow, that's so big. I love that. And truly know yourself, which is very, very true, because it's not something people even thought about it.
Yeah, especially our Asian women, right? We live in the society like with the stereotype, women always have to sacrifice, look after the family, and if the kids, when there is an issue in the family, it seems like the woman always the one to get blamed. Because of you didn't teach them, or you didn't educate the kids properly, or whatever, So we are in the modern world. Do something like what we should do.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so good. Thank you so much for your piece of advice, Angerine, and thank you so much for your time this morning and so much wisdom. I'm so appreciating you to be here sharing your story with us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I'm so glad that you invited. I honestly, I'm really shocked that you actually sent me the invitation. I didn't expect that.
That's I should have invited you earlier. Thank you so much for your time, Angerine. I really hope that we can continue our conversation in the next episode.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.